Good evening and welcome to the virtual 2020 Middle Creek High School Career Academy graduation ceremony. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Christina Council, and I have the honor and privilege to serve as Academy Coordinator for the Class of 2020 Career Academy Seniors. We are here together virtually to celebrate and recognize the outstanding accomplishments of our Digital Media and Engineering and Design Academy members over the past 4 years. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize a few individuals who made this event possible and continue to support our Academy and our students year after year. First, our amazing teaching staff. Thank you to all the Academy teachers, past and present, for your tireless hours and endless dedication to these students. Next, our administration. Thank you for supporting these students and the amazing opportunities provided through the Career Academies. I'd also like to thank our advisory board members and our newly formed Academy Booster Club. These amazing group of professionals and parents have volunteered countless hours to help plan events, organize fundraisers, and provide valuable contacts in the industry to make our student experiences as beneficial as possible. Thank you so much for your service to our students and to our program. A huge thank you to all the dedicated professionals at the CTE Central offices for Wake County Public Schools. I specifically want to recognize our CTE Director, Ms. Joanne Honeycutt, our CTE Senior Administrator, Mr. Phil Weiss, and our School to Career Coordinator, Ms. Joy Frankoff, who I also would like to congratulate on her retirement after spending years dedicated to supporting the efforts of our career academies countywide. Finally, parents, families, neighbors, and friends of our graduates, thank you for the support you give these students daily. Thank you for trusting us with your child at school and at the many extracurricular trips and events. Together we made something truly awesome, a group of students that makes me confident and excited about our future as a community. Class of 2020. You guys really know how to make a dramatic exit. But seriously, I want to acknowledge the grace in which you have all handled these very unexpected last few months. I know it cannot be easy to let go of the expectations you had for your senior year. Expectations are funny like that. You don't realize how much they hurt until they're unfulfilled. During my time at home, I've had a lot of time to think about that, and I suspect you have too. There has been a lot of studies and research done on happiness. The most compelling research shows that the reason that people are unhappy relates to expectations. You are about to embark on a new journey in life, whether that be college, trade school, military, a full-time job, or some other life path. But regardless of what the future holds for you, we're all going to be seeking the same thing: life satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness. On a very basic level, the research shows that we are unhappy when our experience of reality does not live up to the expectations of reality. This is called the expectations gap. Sometimes in life we have very clear expectations based on our past experiences or what others have told us or our own imagination. For example, I fully expect every single one of you to be very successful in your future careers based on my knowledge of you from the last 4 years. Other times our expectations aren't so clear. Like when Vaughn asked me if he could recite some slam poetry in Orlando at 11 p.m. I definitely didn't have any expectations for that, and I'm still not really sure what happened. But regardless, our expectations affect our decisions and our happiness. So based on the correlation between expectations and happiness, I want to challenge you to 2 goals as you begin your new life beyond the walls of Middle Creek High School. The first is to set realistic expectations, and the second is to never stop moving forward. In today's world of Photoshop and Instagram, it's so easy to convince yourself to expect something that isn't real from your own life. Remember what's real and what's not. Your work ethic, your technical skills, your drive and ambition, those are all real. You have honed and developed these skills time and again through projects and competitions over the last 4 years. The perfect lives you see on Instagram, they are not real. Don't compare your life and goals to what you see from these online personas. Set realistic expectations for your life and work hard to achieve them. And finally, never stop moving forward. By default, our brains expect more and more as time goes on. We expect to achieve more, to learn more, to make more money, to be more, year after year. The only way to close this expectation gap is to never stop moving forward. Always challenge yourself to learn something new, to hone your skills, to take on a new risk or an opportunity for an adventure. This is your life. Don't waste a single second of it. It has been such an honor to work with each and every one of you as both your teacher and as your Academy coordinator. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Greetings, seniors, family members, and faculty. I'm Lacey Peckham, the principal here at Middle Creek High School, and I'm honored and privileged to be a part of celebrating the hard work and accomplishments of two Shining Star programs at Middle Creek High School, the Digital Media Academy and the Engineering and Design Academy. I want to start my remarks today by mentioning how unfortunately limited my interaction and experience with the 2020 Academy graduates has been. Not just by my arrival to Middle Creek as the principal in January, but also by the school closure in March due to COVID-19. I did not get near enough quality time to enjoy all your final projects, watch you compete in Skills USA, or listen to your teachers brag about your amazing designs, certifications, and other accomplishments. Despite this, I want to share that participating in this event and recognizing the Senior Academy students is still very special to me because I was there in the beginning. No, not the beginning of your journey as Academy students, but the actual beginning stages of the Academy experience and the inception of the Engineering and Design Academy at Middle Creek. When I arrived at Middle Creek High School 9 or so years ago as the Assistant Principal of Instruction, the digital media staff and classes were strong, but the Digital Media Academy was still in its infancy stages. As the Assistant Principal tasked with creating the master's schedule, I met with Mr. Petty and Mr. Maldonado, and together we mapped out what it could be like for students in the digital media class to get to work together in two classes, a core class and a digital media class each year, to work with two teachers creating cross-curricular projects so that students would not just be learning skills, but putting them into action. And they would do this over several years so that as skills and relationships grew, so would the opportunities of what the students could do. After that initial meeting, in true STEM fashion, an idea became a plan, then a pilot prototype, and after year one, 10th graders getting blocked together for digital media and English, we knew we were onto something. From that first initial year, this cohorting blossomed into a full-blown high school academy experience. And shortly after, a second strong interest pathway, the Engineering and Design Academy, was born. Prior to my leaving in 2015, both the Digital Media and Engineering and Design Academies were well on their way. Though I've not gotten to be here for the totality of your academy journey as students, I'm so grateful to be a part of the culminating event, your graduation. Your work is the fruit of an initial seed that was planted, and it has grown into something beautiful. What I want to share in my remarks today is overwhelming pride with where the staff and students have taken this academy and this learning experience. As an administrator, I fully believed in the idea of creating a collaborative environment, a cross-curricular structure, of cultivating a sense of family and collegiality amongst students built over years together, providing enriching project experiences and community-based internships. But I could not have imagined where it would go and where you all students would take it. I'm proud and honored to be part of recognizing the commitment, hard work, dedication, and extra effort you and your teachers have put in, and to celebrate what you have accomplished throughout your time in the academy. Earlier in the year, I was interviewed and asked, as the principal, what do you celebrate? How do you define success in your work? And I will share with you what I said to them. I celebrate the students and what they are able to do. I love medals and awards, but truly, I most enjoy seeing you as students put your mind to work, seeing the products and prototypes you create, the designs you come up with, and the opportunities you seek out and create for yourselves. It is extraordinary, and it fills me with hope every day about what is possible. You are creators, designers, problem solvers, and critical thinkers, and I'm so proud and grateful for the positive impact you have made on your academy classmates, the Middle Creek programs, and the school community. As with any commencement speech, I feel the need to leave you with some words of wisdom or a launch for your next step. So I will leave you with this from Oprah Winfrey. Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Hopefully you can reflect on your experiences within the academy, on the projects, collaborations, competitions, internships, and other experiences, and remember a few specific moments of excited energy. Take those moments and build on them. Let them guide you. Seek more of those moments out as you continue to learn and grow and forge a new path and career ahead that's driven by your passions. That is what we want for you. And keep in touch. You are all on to bigger and better things, and we would love to celebrate those things with you. Congratulations to our Mustang Academy classes of 2020. You are all leading galloping Mustangs.
Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Reeder, a senior graduate from the Digital Media Academy. This speech is obviously not how I expected it to go. I mean, I'm wearing my cap and gown in my basement speaking to all of you through your phones. And while I wish I could be on stage speaking at graduation, this doesn't take away any love and admiration I have for the Digital Media Academy. It has made my past 4 years at Middle Creek nothing short of amazing, and it all flew by in a blink of an eye. I could not have done it without the amazing help and support from all of the teachers who I would like to talk about now. Walking into Miss Council's class my freshman year, I had no idea what to expect. I was surrounded by 20 other shy freshmen. Little did I know that they would become my best friends at Middle Creek the next 4 years, pretty much living with them inside of the school. My first task in Council's class was to recreate an apple in Photoshop. Yes, you heard that right. And I'll tell you all, my apple was horrendous. I definitely would not have eaten that. But over the course of that semester, I learned a lot and began to improve my skills in a bunch of digital media categories. The next year, I had my first experience with the phenomenal Mr. Petty. He allowed me to upgrade my food repertoire, letting me make a sandwich. Just like that apple, my sandwich was also terrible. I learned that I didn't want to make designs of food for the rest of my life. Luckily, he didn't force me to continue making those. Instead, I expanded my digital media repertoire, editing sports videos and graphics. Mr. Petty really made my high school experience enjoyable. He was the first teacher I've ever had that allowed me to get work done while talking about sports for the entire class period. Our frustration of NC State continued to grow over my 2 years in his class, and even with all that frustration, I'll be enrolling at NC State in the fall. I could not have gotten through high school without Mr. Petty. And finally, Mr. Maldonado. Maldo knew how to cheer up a classroom whenever he needed, and is one of the only teachers I've ever known that made a first block class enjoyable. His presence throughout senior year was much needed, giving me someone to talk to whenever I desired. Although I wasn't able to finish his class, I'm so glad of all the memories made in his room. I can't forget about the amazing English teachers though. To Mr. Silva and Mr. Williams, thank you. You mean so much to all of us than you realize, and we really appreciate it. Mr. Williams was always there for his students and would help me with college essays after school, which really meant a lot. And Mr. Silva, well, she just knew how to put a big smile on everyone's face all of the time. I knew that everyone in DMA loved being in her classes, making English honors a highlight for all of our days. Outside of the classroom, the Academy presented many opportunities to myself and others that we could not have gotten elsewhere. I was able to job shadow with Digital P Media and have internships with the Raleigh Flyers, Durham Bulls, and WRAL TV. I joined the sports block and worked dozens of events, including traveling with the broadcasting crew to Fayetteville and Greenville for state basketball tournaments. I also went down to Greensboro competing at the Skills USA state competition. Opportunities like these help shape me into who I am, and I can only thank the Digital Media Academy for that. And last, I cannot forget about the amazing friends I made inside of DMA. The boys, as we call ourselves, consisted of Matthew, Daniel M., Bryce, Leo, Aaron, and we can't forget about Braden. We clicked instantly and never looked back. From hanging out after school to making a 5 a.m. Waffle House run before our crime and punishment presentation, I'll never forget the memories made with the boys. While I'm sad to have to say goodbye to Middle Creek and the Academy, I'm happy with all the memories that I've made inside of that building. Thank you.
Well, we've almost made it. We're close to our first big step into adulthood. College is so close that I can practically taste the unhealthy campus lunches. Soon enough, we'll be out on our own without boundaries, without safety nets, and for some of us, without many connections to our old lives. While many of you may see this as a reason to look ahead, staring the future straight in the face, I think it's also a good time to retrace our footsteps and evaluate how we all got where we are today. My initial impressions of the Engineering Academy were that of confusion and hesitation. I thought, who are all these people, and how am I going to survive 4 years with them? This reaction was quickly expunged, however, when I got to know everyone's personalities, characteristics, and quirks through all the projects, presentations, reading assignments, AutoCAD creations, internships, field trips, parties, and other learning experiences that we all shared together. I know everyone in this program far more than I've known any of my friends before. As cheesy as it sounds, I think these 4 years have made us more than friends. I think they've made us a family. My first year in the Engineering Academy started out awkward, but grew to be much more enjoyable after everyone got to know each other. Everyone in the Engineering Academy was unique. each with their own interests and quirks. Our classes allowed us to learn more about each other through group assignments, presentations, and plenty of field trips. I remember for our first group project, Max and I set out to accomplish the very difficult task of creating nanobots that could help observe and cure widespread diseases such as AIDS. We didn't do that. However, this project sparked the inventiveness, the creativity within us that establishes the core principles of what an engineer should be. Our classes allowed us to think outside of the box, whether it was finding a way to model a prosthetic arm, designing a bridge from only balsa wood, or developing a usable catapult. One of the most notable things to mention was that from these projects, everyone's results were different. Each student brought their own skills and ideas to the table and were able to apply them in a way that made us understand what kind of people they were. With each passing semester, the Engineering and Design Academy began to feel more unified, as every class we had together gave us more memories and experiences to share. We dissected frogs together, we designed trains together, we even lived together. While everyone in the academy was different, we accepted every member for who they were, and at this point, the classes wouldn't be the same if even one student wasn't in them with us. Our many trips allowed us to explore the various careers that awaited us down the road. Visits to NC State University heavily influenced my decision to pick that school for my college. Our trip to ABB allowed us to learn about the true significance of what engineers are capable of doing. And our trip to Universal Studios showed us that engineering can be extraordinarily fun. While we all had missteps and mistakes along the way, these bonding experiences brought us closer to each other than ever before. As we move on to a greater world, we're going to be faced with challenges that we've never been met with before. The world is changing so quickly, and it's sure to do so faster and more unpredictably than anyone could expect. In spite of this, I feel we will all be prepared to solve whatever problems are thrown our way, based on our growth not just as engineers, but as people. I was remarkably shy when I entered the academy. I wouldn't talk to anyone new, and I would retreat to my phone whenever I felt uncomfortable. I did this because I felt different from anyone, and by extension, I felt I had nothing to offer. However, being in classes for almost 4 years with the academy allowed me to familiarize myself with everyone, and understand that we're all unique individuals, and that's a very good thing. Everyone's different qualities are what makes them special, as it allows us to be more creative and inspired. Nobody would get anything done if we had nobody to challenge the normal way of doing things, and that's just what we've been prepared to do. I truly don't believe that I would have enjoyed high school as much as I have without the Engineering and Design Academy. My wonderful classmates and teachers have not only prepared me for the challenges that lie ahead, but also gave me a great group of friends that I'll certainly never forget.
The Academy as described as on paper could be the biggest understatement. The past 4 years is impossible to convey to the fullest to newcomers in just a brochure. As an 8th grader on my way out of middle school, I saw the Academy as a program to participate in because I had nothing to lose. In reality, the role it's had in shaping me as an individual is so significant that I might have a totally different plan for my future without it. When I was a new freshman, I knew almost nobody in the school. I was so awkward I would sit alone at lunch. However, because of technology, engineering, and design, I found the first group of people I could find chemistry with. The group of people, after all we've been through, are not just my friends. They're my family, my brothers and sister. I remember my first impression of them was that they'd be super geniuses that would look down on me, making assumptions about my character based on my initial image and shyness. However, upon introducing myself, I discovered we had similar mentalities, and because of that, we grew to become comfortable with each other. When I had no one to sit with at lunch, it was the Academy members that had an open seat for me. Fast forward to senior year, and we're flying to Florida together. Of the multiple groups that were made for going through the Universal Studios, I feel like I would be accepted in any of them. The unique dynamic that the Engineering Academy has is that there may be cliques within, but at any time, anyone can move in and out of each of them without anyone noticing. From my observations, I have noticed that this dynamic has helped many of our social skills. Certain individuals have really come out of their shells and discovered themselves. They've elevated what people perceive them to be because they're more comfortable showing who they really are. These past 4 years, I have worked on some project or another with every single person here, and I can honestly say that there is no one I would hate to work with. Everyone has something that they can bring to the table, and that is greatly because of what the Academy classes have taught us. From creating a prosthetic hand, to building a bridge, to even designing a train, I have seen attributes that everyone can bring to the table. I have seen attributes that give me a good idea, of what kind of careers they'll be leading. The Engineering Academy is full of people that get the job done. Our internships are proof of that. Who would have thought 19 high schoolers would be able to secure 19 individual internships? Based on this, I foresee success in all of our journeys. The Academy members are a group companies will be so fortunate to employ. These hardworking, ambitious, intelligent, and resourceful men and women are what engineers are perceived as. To have spent my high school career with them is priceless.
Digital Media Class of 2020. Now, as you can imagine, this is not at all how I planned on giving this speech to you all. But as with everything in life, I've learned you have to make the best of it, work from where we are, and roll with the punches. I'm also going to be honest, it's been very difficult to put the last 4 years we've shared of memories in life into this 4-minute speech. I remember back in the very beginning, when we were freshmen, we were told that in a year or so, our class would start to feel more like a family than a class. I know that I'm not the only one who thought that was probably a little bit cheesy and maybe a little bit of an overstatement. Well, 4 years later, I look back and realize that they were 100% correct. We spent so much time together that we've become one of the closest, if not the closest Academy class to ever graduate from this great program. We've gone some amazing places together all over the East Coast, from up in Louisville, Kentucky, to down to Universal Studios in Florida, and even back home to the cookout that we like to hang out at. We've shared countless hours of time and made memories that I will never forget. I once had someone, jokingly I suppose, call me one of those Academy nerds. And most of us would probably not call ourselves nerds, just kids who know how to use the Adobe suite pretty well. However, we're so much more than even that. We're a group that's hung together like no other throughout high school. I've made friends that I'll likely have for life. Some of the most memorable moments that I can think of are playing sweet ball in Miss Council's OG classroom, our first Academy field trip with the food truck that had those enormous pieces of pizza, thinking we were going to make it big as rappers, being hired as event security for Skills USA States, hanging out at cookout before and after Academy events, becoming the infamous Florida men on the Senior Academy field trip, goofing around on the headsets at Sports Block. The boys know the best conversations happen on Channel O. Late nights and early mornings at Skills USA, bringing close to 60 Chewy bars to Skills USA States and putting them in the safe. The countless fishing trips, including one we made during lunch. Waffle House trips that are still not widely known about. Texting each other at 6:45 in the morning to see if it really was Academy Polo Day or not. We'll also remember the Academy member that we lost due to school districts changing. Let me know when we're going pro in volleyball, Braden. Being disgusted with each other's tastes in music, asking each other in the hallway before presentations, hey man, are you winging this too? We'll also remember the DMA Christmas tree, the infamous escape room, and everything in between. We had a high school experience like almost no one else who came through Middle Creek has. Of course, the 20-some of us clowns could never have organized a tenth of this. The teachers who work hard to make all of this possible deserve more recognition than they get. They've worked tirelessly, around the clock, to make this unit of a program that we know as the Digital Media Academy work like a well-oiled machine. Miss Council, Mr. Petty, and Mr. Maldonado, the 3 ringleaders of this circus. I speak for all Academy students, past, present, and future, but more specifically in the context of this speech, the class of 2020, when I say thank you. The effort you put into this program was not and is still not unnoticed. As I close out, take a look at the list of names that make up the Digital Media class of 2020. Please remember these names. 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you will see these names again. They might be the CEO of a huge company, credits in the latest box office hit movie, inventors of new technology, famous artists, who knows? One thing is for certain, my fellow Academy members are bound for greatness. On second thought, after all, there is a possibility you won't see any of their names in those quote-unquote great places. You might just see their names as contacts in our cell phones, and we'll know that they're friends we've made for life. Thank you.
And now for the presentation of the graduates.
For the Digital Media Academy, Isabella Anderson, Samantha Bellantoni, Ryan Campbell, Heather Chaka, Matthew Chaka, Daisy Chima, Leo Doak, Emily Doran, Rachel Eggers, Diana Giardina, Lauren Gorino, Caitlin Hall, Kyron Harris, Bryce Herring, Liam Hosfelt, Aaron Howard, Daniel Masterson, Sarah McQuay, Anthony Puffenberger, Charlie Reeder, Daniel Shakanowski, Megan Shirley. For the Engineering Academy, Nicholas Babiak, Jesse Carr, Willie Harris, Devin Johnson, Jackson Lesniak, Joshua Mayer, Gabriel Mendez, Alexander Norris, William Parrish, Bridget Pearson, Christopher Penwell, Enam Ramzan, Vaughn Schmitz, Cody Schwartz, Joshua Spiker, Alex Tolson, Omar Wiebe.
Class of 2020. It has been one of the greatest privileges of my career to be your teacher, and it's one of my biggest regrets not to be able to celebrate this milestone with you in person. Despite the challenges we are facing both collectively and as individuals, I am more encouraged than ever to know that people like you are entering the world. In your time as students, you have endured tragedies and hardships both at home and at school. You have faced challenges you never expected, and you pushed through them in ways that would have surprised your old selves. You have doubted yourselves. You have failed. You have made mistakes, and you have at times made the wrong choice instead of the right one. It is because of these things that you have also learned resilience. You have learned to rely on each other. You have learned the strength inherent in real friendships. You have known the satisfaction of reaching a goal at the end of a challenging path. You have extended yourselves out of your comfort zones and learned to grow by making yourselves vulnerable. We cannot build strength without moments of weakness. We would not know joy and happiness without also having experienced the opposite. The beauty of a lotus flower would not be possible without the dark mud from which it grows. In the same spirit, you must recognize the opportunities struggle and hardship offer you. I recognize it in you already. Out of the trials and unique difficulties these years have presented has emerged a group of people who, when asked to use the things they've learned and apply it to their senior projects, decided to take on injustice in its many forms. You met that challenge by issuing a challenge of your own to the outside world. You dared to demand a better world for yourselves and for those around you, and you did your part in creating that world. That is a process that never ends, and it is my hope that you will continue to find ways to dedicate your life to these worthwhile endeavors. Holocaust survivor and psychologist Viktor Frankl said that no matter what is taken from us, no matter the external circumstances that seem to press down upon us heavy and burdensome, we never lose the freedom to choose how we respond, to choose how we will make our struggles meaningful. that can never be taken away. My challenge to you, class of 2020, is to earn that freedom by choosing to continue to grow, to continue to demand a better world, to continue to seek value in the relationships you build. I did not have the freedom to choose which students would walk into my classroom as freshmen in the spring of 2017. If I'd had that freedom, I would not have been able to choose a better group of students and now people entering the world. You are exactly what our world needs. It has felt like a gift to be able to call myself your teacher. I thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey, and it is with great joy and hope that I watch you go forth as my fellow Middle Creek alumni.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say happy graduation to all of you. I feel that I have not had a lot of time to work with you all at Middle Creek this year, given the time that I came into the school. But I will say that I truly have been blessed to have the amount of time that I was given to work with you all. You all are intelligent, bright young people who have a bright future ahead of you, and anything that you try to do, you will succeed. Good luck with your future plans and always stay true to yourself. I will end this with one of my favorite quotes that I heard about 30 years ago, and I've always kept it with me because I truly believe it is your attitude and not your aptitude that will determine your altitude and how high you will go. Again, congratulations. Have a blessed year.
Hey gang, let me start by saying how much I've missed seeing all of you each day. Part of the fun of being in the academy is the sense of family that's formed over the years. I miss hearing your voices, seeing your smiles, and talking with you about life and what the future holds. I want you to know that I care for you so much, and I'll always be here for you if you ever need me. Now for my message to you. Our founding principal, John Williams, had a philosophy that he wanted the school founded upon. It's a simple but profound philosophy that is only made up of 3 words. In fact, every time you walk into Middle Creek, you're greeted by that philosophy. Truth, knowledge, beauty. Look up just inside the front doors and you'll see the school logo and these 3 words. John Williams said, always seek out truth, never stop in your quest for knowledge, and look for the beauty in the world. As a former television news editor, the first part of Williams' philosophy holds a special place in my heart. In my job, I was surrounded by college-educated, consummate professionals. The cornerstone of our profession was to seek out truth, question, research, and find the truth of a story. In Middle Creek, teachers are always wanting you to find truth, which leads us to the second part of the philosophy. It's important that you question your world. Great people find the truth and embrace it. It helps them deal with the reality of their world as effectively as possible. As an educator, I've always taught my students to never stop learning. With today's ever-evolving technology, if you stop learning, you'll be left behind, replaced by someone that understands the newer technologies and will be more effective at making the company money. So take a class at a local community college. Engage in professional development courses your company offers, or simply take an online course. After the past few weeks, you should all be pretty good at online classes. Never stop learning about the world around you. Knowledge is power and will lead to bigger and better things for yourself and your family. And that leads us to the last part of the philosophy. Look for the beauty in the world. This time in our lives is filled with so much negativity that it would be easy to miss all the good being done in the world. From the frontline workers in the medical profession to the people making sure we have food on the shelves. People are doing amazing things to help their communities. There's an enormous amount of giving to those less fortunate. Food banks, school lunches, and community outreach is seeing all-time highs. Donations to charities are raising millions to help those in need. Look for the beauty in the world. You don't have to look far, but let's look a little bit closer to home. When you do something for your brother, your sister, a parent, you add a little light to the world. You make it just a tiny bit more beautiful. So if you don't see the beauty in the world, or if you haven't seen it in a while, then do something for someone. Write a note to someone. Text a friend and tell them how much they mean to you, or call a loved one you haven't been able to see in a while. Spread kindness and compassion and make the world a little bit more beautiful. Guys, I wish you all the best. I miss you, I love you, and I hope you always remember to make wise decisions.
Hello, graduates. Surprised? Well, you shouldn't be, because you should have known that you can never truly get rid of Mr. Green. Now, I know you all have missed me, and you would love for me to spend hours upon hours giving you a detailed review of my life since I've left Middle Creek. But I was told I have approximately 3 minutes for my speech, so I figured I would use the remaining 2 minutes and 41 seconds to focus on you all, since you're the reason we're here to celebrate. And boy, do we have a lot of celebrating to do. You all have had by far the most backwards, confusing, and at times bananas school year, quite literally, in the history of school years. The phrase overcoming obstacles would be an understatement for the class of 2020. And yet, here you are. You all are graduating. You've made it to the end of your high school career. And I know I'm not alone in saying that I could not be more proud of you all. Now, to the family members watching, congratulations. Because while we're celebrating your students' hard work tonight, we're also celebrating your resilience as well. With everything going on, this last semester could not have been easy, especially with some of these kids. But you held in there and you stayed strong. And I'd argue that's the reason we have these amazing graduates here now, because they had you to guide them along the way. So again, congrats. You made it as well. Now, graduates, I've watched you all grow so much. Some of you were literally the first 6 students that I experienced as a professional teacher. You want to talk about an eye-opening experience, but not for the wrong reasons. You all were driven, intelligent, definitely goofy, but most importantly, you all were passionate. You developed ideas and you pushed yourselves. And over the years that I taught and interacted with you, you've only improved as students and members of your communities. And believe me, I know things are going to get tough. Personally, working from home has been a huge adjustment for me. But I know you all are ready, and I'm so excited to see the amazing things you all will accomplish. So, graduates, I hereby advise you to continue growing. I encourage you to keep improving. And I implore you to chase those passions relentlessly. Thank you for the memories and for teaching me some things as well. This is Mr. Green signing off. Peace out.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I know these aren't the ideal conditions you'd imagine you would be graduating through. Over the years I've spent with you all, one of the things I have been most impressed with is your ability to adapt. You all are the class I have witnessed having to go through so many changes, whether changing of teachers, administrations, or societal. While I understand it has been difficult, I want you to know you possess the important practice of adapting to such changes. The skill of adapting to change is an incredible skill to have when going through life, so please use what you have learned as you continue to excel in your future endeavors. I trust all of you will encounter and overcome challenges in your future, and I hope you take what you have learned and apply them in such situations. Remember to apply the design process when approaching a solution, utilize your resources, practice communication, and implement your creativity. I look forward to seeing you all succeed, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for everything.
What's going on, Digital Media Academy, class of 2020? Just wanted to stop by and congratulate all you all on graduating from such a unique and prestigious program. It goes without question that being a graduate of the DMA is a very good look at your transcript as you move forward to your next academic stop. It's my hope that you all cherish what an awesome experience you all were able to have. From being in an exclusive group compared to the rest of the student body at Middle Creek, from being able to broadcast athletic events at a level that is second to none in the state compared to other schools, being taught by some of the best teachers, not only at Middle Creek, but in the state, from Coach Petty to Mr. Maldonado to Mrs. Council to Mr. and Mrs. Williams, just to name a few, but the whole staff was some of the best in the state. To have an extra, having to get extra creative with your projects, whether that's in class or with Skills USA, to developing friendships with like-minded peers. It's all something that you all will remember for the rest of your lives. It's a very tough situation that you all are in to end your career with this pandemic going on, but I truly believe that you all will be better as students and more so as young adults when this is all said and done. I want to send my best wishes to each and every one of you all as you're about to embark on the next chapter in life. Be smart, stay safe, and take everything that you've learned over the past couple of years and go be great. I miss each and every one of you all. God bless, and I hope to run to you all in the near future.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to spend a few minutes with you on this special day. Congratulations on this great accomplishment you have, graduating from high school. You've gone through a lot. The changes we're going through now have prevented us from seeing each other in person, but you're making history. You get all the education you can get, and even when you finish school, keep educating yourself, because a lot of things can be taken away from you in life, but not your education. If it's worth doing right. Simple. End of story. I don't know if you remember it in class, but I had this book. It was a pretty good joke book. See, it says pretty good joke book. And I'll occasionally read some jokes to you. I would advise you to do that occasionally, just to keep things not so serious in your life. And the last thing I have is this old technology crystal ball. We can tell the future with this. So I'll ask you a question. Will these students be successful in life? Yes, they will be. Oh, okay. What will you do with your success? Oh man, this was pretty in-depth and detailed. It says one of you will become a billionaire, and when you do, you're going to come back and find me and give me $1 million. And you're going to give each one of your classmates $5. That seems fair. Well, thank you again for this time. Congratulations again. Have a great day and a great life.
Hey class of 2020, Miss McGee here. Well, it's been 4 years of high school, and I still remember all those freshman faces and those first academy classes and Skills USA meetings. There were crazy times, fun-filled trips, and great classes. I only needed 1 year to know that you guys were going to do great things. Your creativity, determination, and motivation set you apart, and it will continue to do so. Having a passion in life and pursuing that passion is a great thing. Each of you should be proud of the hard work that you put in, from applying to the academy programs, getting through all the classes, and reaching this point of graduation. I know that this is not the senior year or graduation that you had envisioned, but your accomplishments are special, and we are celebrating each of you. This is a time different than any other, and I believe that you are a class unlike any other. I'm not sure if you remember back to those first few engineering classes, but we talked about how you all will fill jobs and solve problems that we weren't even aware of then. I felt then, and I still feel confident in your ability to tackle these problems and these jobs with creativity and a new way of thinking that we all need. I think that your experience through the academy and through these times in particular will help shape that. I can't wait to see all that you guys accomplish. I know you are all going to do great things. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Good evening, graduates. I know that tonight looks very different from what you imagined, and that there is a certain level of disappointment in not being together at the high school to mark this very special event. And since my niece Diana is in your graduating class, this hits home for me on both a professional and personal level. So I understand your disappointment. And there's so much uncertainty in the world right now, and I am sure that this causes some worry, especially as you move into your next phase of life. I know that when I'm facing a time of uncertainty, it's always helped to remember that I've gotten through some tough stuff before. So in that spirit, may I ask you to journey back with me to the morning of presentation day, junior year. You had all spent weeks transforming Mr. Petty's classroom into an escape room, only to walk in that morning to learn that the AC handler for the 3rd floor had quit overnight, and to find that the humidity brought everything that you had built to a heaping pile on the floor. And you guys were disappointed. But it's what you did in spite of that disappointment that I want you to remember. You rolled up your sleeves, you worked together as a team, you laughed in the midst of the chaos, and you rebuilt the room. You then proceeded to present to 6 different groups that day in the boiling heat. And maybe it was due to the fumes from the freshly painted table that Aaron brought in that morning, but you all faced that challenge with maturity, determination, and lots of grace for yourselves and for one another. That's the stuff you are made of. I have no doubt that each one of you has exactly what it takes, not just to get through the tough stuff that life will inevitably throw at you, but to be the light for the others in those dark times. You are all beautiful people, and I am honored to have had the opportunity to watch you grow academically and personally over the past 4 years. I love you all and am sending a very warm virtual hug to each one of you.
Academy members, let me just say thank you. Thank you for all your hard work, your dedication, and your perseverance through all these years. From our first project, through our ad campaign and Sunny D, to the immersive escape room. You guys have not only met the expectations and challenges we threw at you, but you have exceeded them. There have been many times where we laughed and smiled together, and there's also been times where we've cried together. And all of these have shaped you into the young men and women that you are today. I know you will go on to do great things when you leave high school. Now, I've been fortunate enough to get to know members on both sides of the academy. From all of our amazing projects, epic field trips, sports block, and Skills USA. I hope these are the memories that you take with you as you leave high school. I know that you have left all of us with a lifetime of memories. Now, as you know, this is not the end of the book, but rather where we turn the page for the next chapter. And you are the ones that write those pages as to what comes next in your future. Dare to dream the impossible. Do what no one has done before, and don't let anyone turn you back. You are the only person that can stop you. And yes, you are destined for greatness. Thank you again for everything that you have provided to this academy and all that you have done for all of us. So as we end, I'll leave like I always do. It's officially about that time. But know you always have a home here. You are forever a Mustang. We are always here for you, and you are forever a part of this academy. Please keep in touch. Let us know where you are and all the great adventures you do from here. Go out and conquer the world. I love you, and I'll miss you until I see you again.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
You both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood comes first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.